Yo, what's going on, guys? I feel like I'm going to be talking about this until they actually change the rule, but I'll be real with you. I am done with PSR. I genuinely feel sorry for Newcastle this summer. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. The big teams are just clearly benefiting from this, and the smaller teams are not. Um, I mean, obviously, we saw the last couple of years, and I'm only going to focus on Newcastle just because I know we can talk about Forest and Villa and a few of the other teams also where they've got wealth. But again, we're sort of seeing this now in the Premier League where a lot of these smaller teams now are coming into wealth and they're trying to get competitive. They're trying to break the whole top six, which I think is what makes the league competitive to begin with. And they're just not allowed to do it. No sooner do they just sort of reach that cusp of being able to sort of break that mold very quickly because of the benefits that, say, the likes of a, respectfully, even say a Chelsea or a City are allowed to do. I mean, Chelsea were allowed to do it for the last 20 years. City have been able to do it for maybe the last, maybe 14, 15 years, where just before PSR's hit, they've been allowed to use the wealth that their owners have had, build up their teams, break the traditional top four, as it were, in the Premier League, get into these competitions, get the sponsorship deals, get the revenue money, and be able to have enough coming in where now they can sit there and flex and spend a couple of 100 million every single summer, and it's no worries. Whereas Newcastle, I mean, again, we've just seen it. We saw a couple of years ago with Anderson. They had to let him go. Very promising young wonder kid doing his thing at Forest now. I believe that, oh, actually, was it them? Yeah, it might have been them. And then also, was it Minter? I feel like the winger that went to Brighton. I feel like they didn't want to get rid of him either, but again, PSR reasons. We're now looking this summer. Um, every player they've tried to attempt to bring in, one of the bigger teams have swooped in. United, Mbeumo, Ikatike, Liverpool. Just now, I just saw actually just breaking. Well, not breaking, but I saw today now. Trafford is going back to City on a buyback clause, of which Newcastle have been informed. And even now, I'm seeing apparently City are looking at Livramento, and Newcastle are trying to give them a bumper contract again in the hopes to stay. And obviously, the biggest thing that's been breaking is the fact that Isak did not join them on pre-season tour, and he's announced that he wants to leave. To go to Liverpool. So it's just, yeah, I'm just starting to just, even as a neutral, because again, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but it's just starting to it's just starting to get a bit sad because again, you've got a team like Newcastle where they have got wealth behind them more than most teams in the Premier League, and they just can't flex any of it. So you just sort of look at it and it's like, well, if you're some of these teams, what's the point? You sort of break the barrier. You're sort of in and around that European spots now. And then all the big teams need to do is look at our projects. We can bring in the best of the best. We can make this team look good. You can be part of this project. It's an easy way into Champions League and trophies. Join us. Whereas Newcastle, if they actually